Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures. A very warm welcome to the last video of the day. It is actually the third one we've done today. We've done the 44 and the 202. Today, now, we're going to finish with the 18 Telford to Wenlock. Now, of course, it finishes at 12 out of Telford, the last one out of Telford. But I'm giving you the review of the route so you would know where it goes and which way it goes towards Wenlock, and I hope you enjoy the film. The main fleet on this route is Optare Solo SRs, Enviro 200s, and a little Wright Cadet, and I hope you enjoy the film. This is Telford Bus Station, just surrounded by the shopping centre, and we are taking you on a virtual film of the 18 from Telford to Wenlock. And as you probably know, we are doing these virtual films often because of this pandemic of coronavirus, and it's affected many people's lives as well because of all these changes that have been given, and social distancing on buses, like closing seats down and people having to wear masks. It's been a very, very different normal compared to the old normal. It's like the new normal. Until we can get this vaccine in, I'm sure it will change the repetition. It will change the lives that has gone on, and next year we'll have a full recovery. I'm sure that everything should return to some normality by Christmas. Anyway, now let's crack on with the journey. So we're just now at the Madeley area, and we are heading across Queen Elizabeth Avenue, and we are descending onto Queensway. Now, as you know, the 18 goes the same route as the 8 out of Telford to serve Madeley and all that. And we've just gone under the Redfoot Bridge, and we are going down Queensway, and we're just passing the junction for Sturchley services. And we are joined by the number 4 service, which goes from Montgomery to Madeley. And the 4's main fleet is Wright Street Lights. And we are now coming off the Queensway. As you know, it's a main dual carriageway. There's a lot of good dual carriageways to experience. So this is the A442. We are now getting off at Madeley area. So we're now at Halesfield roundabout. So anyway, this is Halesfield estate. I wouldn't mind if I just nipped to those areas just to show you what Halesfield is like. So we're now on the Kemberton Road, and we're now going to cross the roundabout and head into Madeley. And we're now in Madeley area. We're now in Madeley, and if you could, and so we're just now in Madeley, which is another town. It's the terminus of the 4s from Montgomery, and of course you have the 1s and 2s that serve this dedicated location, and it's operated by, and all these routes here are operated by Riva, except the 891 to Wolverhampton is operated by Bangor. And anyway, you got your example of the main fleet on the 4. Right, street light, leather seats. These were introduced in the 21st century. Because Telford were going for like brand new buses, especially uh, right Pulsars, VDL buses. They look a bit like the Right Eclipse Urban V7 Volvos, except different motor. So we are now in Madeley. Anyway, we just gone past the Tesco supermarket, and we are just heading out of Madeley and heading towards Ironbridge. So Ironbridge is going to be our next port of call. So we're now on the Ironbridge Road. We're just going past the Abraham Darby School, which is an additional school academy in Telford, and now we are descending down the Madeley Road towards Ironbridge. Now Ironbridge, you've got different connections here in Ironbridge. You've got the service 8 that goes towards Bridge North, which I'm going to film. I'm actually going to having to film the 113 virtually because of timing, and hopefully do the 114s as well. And so anyway, we are just now in Ironbridge. So now we are approaching. So we are now in Ironbridge. So now in Ironbridge. So now we are in Ironbridge. And of course you have the 19 that goes through Colebrookdale. You've got Colebrookdale. And of course you've got the 19 towards Shrewsbury. As you know, I love Shrewsbury. One of those popular towns to be seen. So we're going across Wharfage, and next port of call is going to be up towards Broseley, Brusselly, as they say, especially with Cosley known as Caselli. Anyway, we're now entering Ironbridge, and we're by the Tourist Information Centre, which is the Visitor Information Centre and Gift Shop, the Museum at the Gorge, and of course you are, at the time on this picture we have the old Bus Power Station. Nowadays the power station has been blown up. So here we are in Ironbridge. Okay, we've just left the Ironbridge Gorge Museum, heading in towards Broseley next. So we're heading up to Broseley. Now, as you probably might remember at the time of filming, I was actually covering the bridge bit when it was covered in plastic. And it was covered in plastic, but now it's painted red. And anyway, we're now heading down High Street. So we're now going down Waterloo Street. So now going down Waterloo Street in the direction. So anyway, we are now at the bridge of Waterloo Street. Crossing the bridge at Waterloo Street, and we are now heading into Jackfields. So we're now heading towards Jackfields, which is on the So we're now going down Lloyd's Head over Jackfield, and most of this was covered by the old 9 route, if you remember the old 9, Wolverhampton to Bridge North and on to Telford. Took 2 hours between those certain locations, and so we're continuing along Lloyd's Head, and then we're going to turn right and up Calcutt's Road. And anyway, so we're now heading in towards the town of Broseley. So, as you know, Broseley is also covered by the 8, but we're going to film the 8 in the not too distant future. The reason why I'm saying it's the not too distant future means I'm not saying it's going to be done virtually. It might be done actually, like the normal way of travelling, but that I'll have to wait on that because of all these unprecedented times and the coronavirus. So please remember to stay alert and keep controlling that virus and save lives, because obviously we want the economy to build, not fail. We don't want that, because that will be very ridiculous. It will be. And we can't revert to our normal way of living either, because it will be quite dangerous, and of course if we stop then all our efforts will be wasted, and we could see a second fresh spike, even though Leicester's gone into local lockdown. But I can be able to film virtual routes in Leicester. So anyway, here we are in Broseley. Anyway, just now going up Broseley High Street. Now, as you probably remember, they used to have a double-decker bus on this route, but however these days they only use certain buses. So, like little buses now, because it's subsidised by the council. So as you know, we're now going down a little narrow lane. It's a good job that the buses they put on here are little buses, because if it's a big bus it would struggle, like a Plaxton Centro and Street Light. I've had a Street Light on this route. It could struggle with Street Light, it could struggle with Pulsar as well. So this is Duke Street Now, as you know, you've got Edinburgh Street, Edinburgh Road. So we're now going down Edinburgh Road, and then we're going to turn right at the bottom. Turn left, sorry. So we're now on Elizabeth Crescent in now we have been doing a vice versa. Between these specific locations. And we're now going down Cape Street. So we're now in Cape Street. In Wenlock. Anyway, my apologies to say Wenlock, Cape Street in Broseley. So we're now leaving Broseley, now going just gone past Bentle, and the next port of call should now be Wenlock. So we're now gone past Posen Hall. Now 32 minutes, as you know, these little lanes are... Cape Street was a bit of a tight restriction, and I do apologise for all that. So anyway, we're now back on route, heading... towards Wenlock. As you can see up ahead is the Clee Hills. Not sure if that is the Clees, because the Wrekin's back down there. So we're just heading down the 18 route towards Wenlock now. So anyway, we're just nearly approaching Wenlock area now, and we're just heading down the B4 376 to Wenlock, and so Cape Street was in Broseley, if I forgot to say. So we are now approaching Wenlock. So we're now approaching the village of Wenlock area now. And if you can just ignore those noises in the background. So we're now in Barrow Street. in Barrow Street in Wenlock. So we shall soon be terminating at the. So we shall soon be terminating at. So we shall soon be terminating at the New Road Junction interchange. So New Road Junction interchange is soon here, and then we'll finish the journey. And as you know, Wenlock is only a small town. You won't expect some good named shops here. It's only a little village. And here we are. So we're now arrived at the end of the route. So we just now reached the end of the route, and so anyway, we're nearly at the end of the route. Anyway, we're now reached the end of the route. Anyway, we're now reached the end of the route. So anyway, we're now reaching the end of the route. Oh, anyway, here we are, the end of the route now. Wenlock, New Road Junction, Old Church. Anyway, here we are in Wenlock.